section 5.1. In 5.1, we are going to be looking at roots. First of all, we want to go over what each of these means and how they can be rewritten. The square root of x can be written as x to the 1/2. These are called rational exponents. The cubed root of x can be written as 1 to the x to the 1/3. The fourth root of x can be written as x to the 1/4. Now, sometimes you will come across some exponents that look like have a rational exponent. So I can rewrite x squared, the cubed root of x squared, as x to the 2/3. The 2 is the exponent, the 3 is the root. So again, if I had something like x to the 4/5, I could rewrite this as, remember, this is the exponent. So the exponent would go underneath the radical sign. So we have x to the 4th and take the 5th root. This right here would be the root. All right, so that is just a review before we start. All right, now the first problem that I want to look at is rewriting the fourth root of 81. The fourth root of 81 can also be written as 81 to the 1/4. This means that I can write 4 factors of 81. Now, you can either put this into your calculator by putting in 81 and then hitting the sign that looks like a little tent, and then putting in 1/4, and that will spit out the fourth root of 81, which happens to be a 3. Now, because this is a fourth root and it is even, it's an even root, we can also write it as -3. So the real fourth roots, there are 2 of them, is -3 and 3. If this were odd, we would only have 1 root. Even and get 2. All right. So remember over here in this section, I talked about the rational exponents. 25 to the 1/2 is saying the same as the square root of 25. The square root of 25, of course, is 5. 32 to the 2/5 is the same as saying 32 squared, 5th root, and we want to put the square out here. That'll be easier. So if I take the 5th root of 32, in other words, 32 to the 1/5, I will get 2. And then we square 2, so our answer will be 4. All right, another one you might see is the negative outside. If the negative's inside, that's going to be kind of difficult. So anyways, on this one, the negative's outside. So no matter what we get, we're going to get a negative. So this, again, you can rewrite this as 16 to the 3rd, 4th root. So 4th root of 16 cubed. Now, if I put this into my calculator, I end up with -16, and I put in my caret sign, and I then put in 3/4. So that's putting it into the calculator. when we do this, we are going to get a negative 8. Negative 8. Again, if we put it in the other way where we have negative 4th root 16 cubed. All right? Once we work this out, the 4th root of 16 is going to be 2. 2 cubed will be 8. So those are two different ways that we can do this problem. All right, next. The 5th root of 3.4, again, we're going to rewrite this as 3.4 to the 4/5. So if I take 3.4 and I put it into my calculator, because I'm not going to get a perfect square or a perfect root, so what we're going to do is put 3.4 into the calculator, caret sign, 4 divided by 5. It will come out to be approximately 2.74, rounded to the nearest hundredth. Rounded to the nearest hundredth. So again, you would put this into your calculator. All right. Now, the last one I want to show you is the cubed root of negative 8. 8 cubed and b to the 9th. The easiest way to do this would be to separate this so that I end up with the cubed root of negative 8 and then the cubed root of a cubed b to the 9th. So you can kind of see it a little bit better. So in this case, I'm going to get negative 8 to the 1/3. This is okay because it's a cube. It's an odd number. Then I end up with a to the 3 divided by 3. This is the root. This is the exponent. And then we have b to the 9 over 3. Again, first on the top is the exponent, and then the root is on the bottom. All right, negative 8 to the 1/3. Well, 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So that's negative 2. You can put that into your calculator. A to the 3 divided by 3. Well, 3 divided by 3 is 1, so you have an A left over. And then b to the 3, 9 divided by 3, we end up with b. 3 into 9 is 3. So our answer is negative 2, ab cubed. All right, another thing we're going to see in section 5.1 is solving equations. So the first thing you want to do when you have an equation like this, where we have 5x cubed equals 320, is you're going to divide by 5. You have to get rid of the number next to the exponent with cube. So we end up with x cubed equals 64. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the cubed root of x cubed on both sides, and we're going to take the cubed root of 64. The cubed root of x cubed is the same as saying x to the 3 over 3, which is equal to x. 64 is going to be 64 to the 1/3. So that gives me the cubed root of 64 will be 4. Again, putting that into a calculator, you would have 64 caret 1/3. All right, the last thing that I want to talk about here is the volume of cubes and working a word problem or problem solving. We have a cube here. It says a cube has an edge 3 centimeters shorter. So the smaller one is 3 centimeters smaller than the larger one. So I could write that as 3x minus 3. So this would be x. This would be x minus 3. Now they tell us that the smaller cube has a volume. So this has a volume of 200 centimeters cubed, or cubic centimeters. We want to find the volume of the larger cube. So to do that, I have to take the cubed root, so this right here, x minus 3, if I cube that, I'm going to get 200. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cubed root of both sides of this equation. When I do that, I'm going to get x minus 3 equals the cubed root of 200, and the cubed root of 200, if you put that into your calculator, will be approximately 5.85. You want to round it to the nearest hundredth. All right. Now, if you forget and you just round it to the nearest tenth, you're going to get 5.8, which is fine also. So 5.85 or 5.8. All right. Then what's going to happen, I'm going to add 3 to both sides of this, and I'm going to end up with x equals 8.85. So that's what my one side is up here. So this side is going to be 8.85. Now to find the volume, all I have to do is take 8.85 and cube it. So when I put that into my calculator, I'm going to put 8.85, put my caret key, put in a 3, and I will get approximately 693.15 cubic centimeters. And I hope this helps you with your homework.